Hey everyone, and we should be live. Hold on. No, yeah, we're live. We're live. So I don't know what's going on. I didn't even have to reset the internet. I just sat there for a while, just double checking, and then all of a sudden it connected back up. So we had a little bit of internet outage trouble, which is always a pain. But right now, according to my test, we're hitting 946 download and about 200-ish megabytes per second, or Mbps. Doesn't always mean megabytes. I think it's megabits or something like that. There's some terminology. Anyway, that's all now pretty high. So hopefully if you are watching, things should be okay. Do let me know if the audio and the visuals are out of sync. There's always a little bit of buffering. I need to point that out to a lot of you. There's always a little bit of buffering, or like a split second. Sometimes that happens when I record videos, and I hate it because you can adjust it and then later on it sinks back in again, and then the adjustment now means you're out. So you end up undoing what you did. It's weird how technology sometimes does go weird. And this is a problem that affects a lot of people, but you don't always notice it when you have TV shows, because they always sound edit. You know, they always make sure things sync, or they redo things. Anyway, I'm live again, and today's been pretty cool in terms of just some work on some other websites and stuff, but most importantly with the font clamp calculator, because I went and did version 2. Equitas, how you doing? So, oh yeah, by the way, thanks for your message on LinkedIn as well. So I've gone and revamped font clamp calculator. Not revamped. The revamped version came out on Monday. But what I've now done is made it even better, because some people were a little bit unhappy, or not unhappy, but they were kind of saying, you know, they wanted to have the retro features that we had in the font clamp calculator in the old version, the old online tool, and the Excel spreadsheet. Well, that's all now sorted. We now have a version where you can use the class name, or you can go and use the retro version, basically the tags, the HTML tags, right? So what you now have is the class one, which you should all be quite used to, because this is the versions I've been putting out. But you now have the tag version as well. So if you want to go back to using the tags without these scalable class names, I like using these because it means you have a wide variety of reach just with a few classes. But if you want to go back to the tags, you can do. But we also have a new scale version as well. So once you enter in what is your paragraph text, right, it will now scale it up by 1.333, and you can actually change it as well to 2. I mean, that's a ridiculous value, or go up by 1.25. And what it does is it multiplies each heading level by 1.25 and calculates them for you. Push to CSS, export, import, reset to default, all of that. But one of the really neat features, and I really love this. If you look at the XXX large over there, if I go and change this to 10, can you see it's done like a real-time shrink? And this is a bit stupid because now, like, I'm increasing it. You can see the text is increasing bit by bit by bit by bit by bit by bit. Can you see that? You're getting a real-time preview there. So as I increase the maximum size, it's growing over there. So that's really cool. Let's just reset that to default. But like I said, you're going to see a video coming out for version number 2, which comes out in... It comes out in about 8 hours. But now you've got the old, you got the classes, but you got the old tag version as well, right? And a preview and a scalable version. So if I do 1.33, all of the sizes are scaled by 1.333, right? So this is all, you're going to see this all the time. I know Owen. I know, right? You know, it feels like you go back in time, doesn't it? You know, when you watch like a video, I mean, I have to say, I'm still surprised that sometimes some people put out videos on YouTube where they are 720 still. Like, and I'm going, like, I'm not expecting everyone to have 4K, right? You can't. And 1080p, sometimes the 1080p might be 30 frames per second and not brilliant. But some people are putting out videos that are 720, and I'm like, what? this is the kind of quality we were getting when YouTube first started. Aquitas, not sure about it, but is there a way to buy you a coffee? Do you know something? I'm not sure if there is a way to buy me coffee. I think you can, if I'm correct. I've got to find it now. I don't know if there is a way to buy me coffee anymore. I don't think that's available. I don't think it is anyway. I'm just going to double check something. I've got to go onto an incognito window because it won't show it because it's my channel. But no, I don't think there is anywhere. There used to be a button. I think I removed it. But yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, like Owen said, that what you can do is you can jump over to the channel and you got a join button, and you can join as a member. It's $2.99 per month, but eventually there is going to come a point where the live chats will only be accessible to people who are members. That's coming in 3 months' time. I'm going to give everyone advance notice and no one gets offended or upset or anything like that. But in 3 months' time, 1st of September, live chats, exclusive content for the courses, for the new Elementor website course, design course, that will no longer be on my website. It will be done via here. So I'm letting you know now, that will be $2.99 per month. Because I'll be drip feeding content and I won't be taking my time on it. You know me, I'll be drip feeding like maybe on a daily basis, you know, an update. So you can always learn as you go along. But rather than people paying $50 or $100 or whatever to access the course, everything will be inside of those videos. You can still access the code. The codes will be in the video, but you won't. For some people, they might see the CSS code, but it's going to be very meaningless to them unless they're a member where they get to watch the video. So that's something I will be introducing 1st of September. And the other thing also is that when people reply to me, so for instance, I'll give you a sneak peek, okay? If I go over to my studio and I go over to my community, right? So if I go and do, in fact, look, Owen, your comments on here, right? So if I go over, you know, I can, I mean, you get some prompts, but I don't always, I mean, I'll just use it here just to show you, right? Okay, but sometimes I get questions, right, over here. People want me to dig a bit deeper, or they have a question about the video, or they just want a bit more advice on the back of the video. I won't be offering advice anymore on here unless you are a member. So if you're not a member, I might still do a very like, yeah, thanks, great, yeah, I'm glad it worked or whatever, but I'm not going to dig deeper for people that aren't sure about what to do. Hey Beatrice, how you doing? Beatrice, did you email me? I got an email from Beatrice, but I wasn't sure if that was you, Beatrice. You were asking for the Pix Refiner tool. Was that you, Beatrice? Because it didn't have your surname, and I'm pretty sure it was you. Yes, it was you, right? So just to let you know, Beatrice, right? Okay. I'm just going to show you, all right? If you go over to the learn.websquadron.co.uk website, right? Go to learnwebsquadron.co.uk. Go and click codes at the top. And when you scroll down over here, you see the Pix Refiner version 3.6. You can either click that and get the JSON and import it into a code snippet, or you can just click copy and then paste that in. And that will serve you pretty well. Yeah. But for anyone who's just joined, version 2 of the clamp calculator is coming out tomorrow. Font clamp calculator. This now has the tag version. So you got the class version, you got the tag version. So if you want to use the old tags or the way we used to do it, but we also have a scale version. So if I say my baseline font is 16 pixel and I want every other heading to grow by 1.25, it multiplies by 1.25. So 16 times 1.25 is 20 pixel. So there's 3 ways to do your font clamp calculator, and you're going to get that all for free tomorrow, okay? So you'll get to see that. Yep, Owen, you now are an ambassador. Equitas, thank you very much. Michael, are there any AI tools that can provide decent designs? I think Canva AI is not a bad one. I think Canva AI is pretty nifty. But then again, though, I would also say go to Dribbble, DRIBBLE.com. Dribbble with a triple B.com, right? You'll find some templates. But you can also just go into like Template Monster, Theme Forest, just look at example websites. Maybe you're doing a website for a landscaper. Go to Theme Forest, go to Dribbble, go to somewhere, Envato, all of that, and type in landscaper, web design, or landscaper landing page, and you'll find examples. And then you can copy them. You know, the best form of flattery is copying in a way, and at the end of the day, everyone is copying something, and then you tweak it to match the specifics of the client or what you can bring to the table as well. So I would say, just go and do that. But you can even use ChatGPT. You can even use Gemini, VO and all. You can use Midjourney. There's loads of tools to use, but I always find that when these AI tools generate an image, they generate images that actually don't translate very well into web design. So I remember Midjourney, you'd say to it, give me a landing page for something, and it would generate it, and it'd have all this funky stuff and these icons and stuff and, little placeholders, and you go, wow, that is so cool. But actually, the AI has created something that in reality wouldn't work for you or a client. So the best way to do it, in my opinion, is like Template Monster, Theme Forest, Envato, Elements, Dribbble.com is really, really good. Because what you see then, some of them aren't actual websites. They're just like something someone created in Figma. You can tell because there's no demo page. But a lot of them, you get like a pretty good visualization. And you look at it and go, I like the hero banner. I like the way they've done the button. On another website, I like the contact page. On another website, I like the way they did the footer. And then you start to blend, what I sometimes do with client websites, when I'm brainstorming, I open up Notion and then I look at different websites and I go, I like that header. And I screenshot the header, stick it in. Oh, I like that hero banner. I screenshot it, stick it in. I like the way we've done the services, screenshot, stick it in. And I start to form my page within Notion. And if there's 2 or 3 headers I like, I stick all of them in, right? And then I can look at it when I get to the point of where I'm now wireframing properly or really thinking hard about how am I going to approach this, I can see it. And what's really cool is sometimes you kind of go, I'm not sure, but if we use their logo and then we use their menu structure, which of these headers is going to work better? And you just create them. And when you do that, it's brilliant. And there's a reason I always do that. One of the things I really love about Notion is you can access Notion on your phone or your computer or your iPad, right? You can be sat in your room watching TV and you can quickly go on. You don't have to go and, I've got to grab my laptop now and all of that. You can be anywhere you want. Take, stuff you can do. And you can even then when you got it, screenshot it and say, email it to the customer. Let them know that, you're taking inspiration from other websites and stuff, and tell them, forget the pictures, forget the colors. Do you like the layout? Do you like the flow of it? Right? Okay. Don't worry about, there'll be some tweaks and whatever, but roughly as a wireframe, do you like that? And you'll be surprised at how excited people get, even though it's nothing to do with their website. When you do something like that, customers, the trust goes like that and they get excited because most of them will have gone through an experience where they've worked with a web designer or someone from Fiverr or somewhere else or whatever. Nothing wrong with Fiverr, nothing wrong with Upwork, but this is where a lot of problems do occur. And they say, well, I gave a brief and then they went and did the website, but they didn't really talk to me about the font sizes, the images, the layout, how it was going to look, what functions I needed and what the call to actions were. They kind of just went and did it. And I'm like, yeah, because they probably just used a template they roll out to every single website. So again, just to let you know, if for anyone that's joined in late, make sure you watch the video coming out tomorrow. Font Clamp Calculator version 2 is coming out. So you're going to have the classes, which is what you should be used to, but you're also going to have the tags. So many of you are saying you wanted the tags and the scalable version. I explain all of this in the video. By the way, I'm going to say hi to a few people at MD Jordan. It has been a long while. I mean, I wasn't doing the live streams as regular as possible. I got back into the habit of it, and then I had like almost like a 2-week break because I had other stuff on. But I'm all back here now. But it's good to see that Michael does kind of the same thing I do with the whole Notion bit about that. Yeah, Aquitas, that's the other thing as well. Line height is back here as well. Look at it, class. Look, line height. You got it there. You want to change it? Let's go and make the line height for XXX large. Let's go and make it be 25 EM. Why would you make it 25 EM? That's stupid, but it does it. And look, if we go over here, if I click it, you can see the code 25 EM. 25 EM. That is in now for extra XXX large. Let's just reset it back to the standard blah-de-blah, what it should be. But it's all in for you. So I took the feedback that a lot of you gave on the live chat about the line height, about the old retro HTML tag version, but I'm giving you something more. And you got to watch tomorrow's video about the scalable and the real-time preview and all of that. You are gonna love it with what more it does. And I'm just so excited with how powerful we've made the Font Clamp Calculator. And when I say we, I mean me, all right? I have work. I have stuff to do, right? I have clients. But, you know, when you get the bug to... I just realized my brightness might be quite bright here. You're probably getting a reflection on my glasses right now. Sorry, I've just realized. When you get the bug to do something better for someone, like above and beyond, I can't help it. I have to do it. You know, you just want to make everyone's lives 10 times better. I'm just going to double check the comments. Omar, we're seeing a lot of new websites using scroll-based animation, GSAP and all of that. But if you watch my videos, I do a lot of videos where I don't use GSAP because I know that for some people, you know, there used to be a cost attached to it, or maybe it's, you know, there's a bit of coding required and some people might not be completely comfortable with that. And it's not always easy to do, right? I mean, Andrea, she does a lot of brilliant she's the GSAP queen when it comes to WordPress. She does brilliant videos on it. But I've done my ways of doing stuff without using GSAP, so please do go and check out those videos. But I would say, yeah, that you don't have to do scroll-based animation because, you know, carousel, sliders, videos, Lottie animations, there's always something new that comes along, right? 4 years ago, Lottie animations was the big thing, right? I told Andrea to make herself the GSAP queen, and she went and did it. I kept saying to her, you focus on this, and you nicheify on that, you will become known for doing that. People touch on GSAP, but you can make this your own. And I'm so glad she adopted that. But going back onto animations, right? 4 years ago, Lottie animations, Lottie images, they started popping up everywhere, right? And that's the trouble. There's a new thing and then everyone rolls with it, right? The whole thing about, you know, video playback when you scroll up and down so it rewinds and forwards. There was a big explosion with that happening as well. When you start to imitate what other people do, it starts to become very, very common. Hey, Sunny, hope you're okay. And I don't always like that. By the way, hey, Curtis as well. I don't like that. And I would say only add animation, entrance animations, micro animations as well, transactions, whatever you want to call them, right? Stuff happening, hover effects, flip cards, color changes, shrink, grow, and all of that, where it's needed to drum the message over. Same with videos, same with animated GIFs. Now, the only time where I would say you definitely want to add a form of animation is your font clamp, responsiveness, fluid typography, basically for your font. That isn't really an animation in a way, right? Even though it's scales up and down depending on the formula you stick in. But that is a must, right? But every other animation, don't just do it because, oh, that website I saw, that's amazing. Like, take Apple, right? Whenever they introduce a new product, they tend to, like, you jump on the page and then the video starts to play and as you scroll up and down, the lenses go backwards and forwards and there's stuff going on, right? It's all amazingly fantastical and you love it. But that won't work on every website. Like, imagine you got a landscaper. What are you going to do? Have a video of them cutting grass. So you see the grass blades go up and they reverse. They fly out and they reverse. What about a dentist? You're going to have one with like, I'm going to go jump on now because it's not a game I play. My son does, even though he should not play that. I'm going to jump on now and see what do you mean by, why, what is there? What is there at the moment on here? I mean, I'm not seeing any animation on their official website at the moment. I'm not seeing any animation at the moment unless I'm missing something. But yeah, you know, yeah, like the grass blades would be good. Imagine a dentist website. Yeah, I mean, oh, sorry. Okay, let me just go on to that one then. Yeah, I'm on that website. There's no, oh, hold on. You mean, so you're talking about this animation. So as you scroll down, I mean, right. Okay, so you're talking about this. Now, this you could do without resorting to using like, how do I call it? You could do this, though, without doing a scroll animation. So the way this works is as you scroll down, what happens is the words appear over it. I had a video on this and then I deleted it because I didn't think anyone would like it. But you could do stuff like this, right? But there is something about where, like, this works for certain websites, right? And if you're not careful, if you try to implement this everywhere, I mean, this is good, right? I'm not going to lie. This looks great in the way it's done. But would it really work for every single type of website? And I don't think it would. Like a dentist, you know, kind of thing. Would a dentist, you know, show a filling going in or out? Or how about the injection? We'll have your mouth. And we'll show the injection. And if you scroll back up, the injection goes out. And when you zoom down, the injection goes in and you see the person's face go. It wouldn't look good, would it? Kind of thing. So, but here's the thing, Aquitas, right? If I'm honest, I'm more wowed by the colors. You could almost say, forget the animation. It's the richness and the hues of the purples and pinks, because they've made sure there's a flow, haven't they? In fact, let's just study that for a moment, okay? So let's just go in and have a quick. Let's just go in and let's just go in. Let's go in. I'm gonna go back to it because I'm just gonna say to you, right, that if you focus on the colors, so here we go. You can see the hues and shades, right, of the purple and pinks are there, right? You scroll down, and then we are going to get that same color scheme. We've got a bit of yellow in coming in now, the sunset vibe, but we're still getting that purple is still there, right? And it was there at that point. You scroll down, we got the purple over there. There's a connection going on with the colors, and then you get to the image, and we're continuing that vibe. There's a very clever play on how you can use colors to make it all work. Moi me, please no example of dentist as I made 110 of them. Ah, moi me. You must be the dentist expert of websites. Do you run like an agency where you focus on dental websites? Or You just happen to have done one, and then there was a referral, and another referral, and another referral, and we know dentists have money, so hey, it's going to be pretty lucrative, right? Is that kind of what happened? You did one, and then more, 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 more. This is quite a good discussion, actually. Did you find they were simple websites with who we are, the team, what we do, prices, other services, maybe there's like a link to sign up for a dentist care plan and all that? Or did you find they were quite intricate, like they were selling stuff, so you had to drop in a bit of e-commerce, or maybe online appointment bookings or something like that? Were they quite simple, or were they quite intricate? Because I've never had to do a dentist website. It's really weird, but I've never had to work on one. But I know there's different ways you could take it. You could go for a box standard simple 5-page website. You could expand it to 10-page, but it is still in a way just, standard website pages. Or you could take it places with like an online booking system. Or maybe they sell toothbrushes. Or maybe you get to pay for your appointment prior. Or maybe you can do online consultations. So this will be really interesting to learn a bit more about what you were doing then. I'm sure people here would love to know about it, because it relates very much to the health and care profession. Beatrice, you're our lighthouse in the storm. Calm. I'm not sure about calm. Clear. I'm only clear after I've done the editing, Beatrice. You do not want to see the quality of the videos when I have not edited. And quietly brilliant. I'm probably going to say loudly manic kind of thing. What you do is soulful, not just support. Thank you from the heart with deep. Thank you very much. I mean, that does mean a lot, because I know what it's like to try to learn something, and you have all the experts and they only tell you what they want to tell you, and you have to stroke their ego before they help you anymore, or they just leave you aside because they don't want you to take over or become better than them, or you realize that you thought they were an expert, but they didn't know jack, and they were just relaying other people's stuff or trying to make out they knew what they were doing because they wanted you to buy their course or sign up to something, and they're just regurgitating. And it's getting worse with AI. There's a lot of so-called gurus and experts popping up left, right, center, and they just regurgitate what they learned or read or manipulatedly or artificially created from someone or somewhere else. But I like to think I'm genuine, and I will never claim to be an expert coder or anything like that, but I am talking from experience when it comes to websites, clients, and how would I approach it. And I think that goes down really well with me is that I walk the walk. I don't just talk the talk. I don't just rip into people without my way of, well, how would you approach it? There's too many people out there that rip into other designers and agencies and influencers and content creators and YouTubers. They rip into them. Oh, I don't like the way you did that. I don't like the way you did that. What about this? What about that? What about accessibility? We can go on, right? But they never really tell you, so this is how you do it. And that really gets on my nerves. But thank you very much, Beatrice, for that. Aqua says, yep, it's the entire art design. Exactly, yeah. I mean, it's one of those things that you could do. I'm not sure if I did have a video on how to do this effect without using GSAP. Basically, you have your image, right? It becomes like a sticky top. Then you have like some other text that appears over it. And I did have a way of doing this. And then I deleted the video because I thought no one's going to want to know that. Why would anyone want to know that? I might bring that one back out and record another version because I deleted it. I might do that. I don't know. I might do that if I feel like there's a need. And that's the other thing. If I do a video or someone says, why don't you do a video on XYZ? I have to feel like it's going to be valued because of the amount of time and effort I'll put into it. I need to feel like, is it worth it? Is it worth your time watching? I'm really sorry if I've ever put out a video that you've watched and you've gone, well, that was a waste of time. What was the point of that? Come on, Imran, you can do better than this. If I've ever done that, I'm really sorry. But I like to think that anything I put out there, I've done with genuine feelings that I like it. You're going to like it. You may come back to it, whether you don't use it now, but it's going to be useful for someone else some point in the future who wants to know how to do something. And most of all, I like to show you ways where you're not breaking the bank with what can you do with what you got now. Maybe you do need to use a premium tool, and I'm really honest there, but what can we do with a bit of code? What can we do with your current Elementor WordPress stack? And I love it when we're able to do stuff. I really, really love it when we're able to achieve things like the quote calculator that I put out today, the font clamp calculator, the PDF viewer, the Pix refiner. I mean, I feel like those 4 things have been my huge breakouts in 2025. In 2025 so far, I've put out 4 big things. Pix refiner, the PDF viewer, the quote calculator, which isn't a huge thing, but I still think it's a big thing, and the font clamp calculator. I think they are 4 big things that I've just put out there now that you either didn't think or know you could do, or you were going elsewhere to do it. And they're free. I could easily charge for them, right? I could so easily charge for the Pix refiner. I could say $1, $10, one-off fee. I could do it for the PDF viewer. There's people paying $5, $10 a month to use premium PDF embedded viewer tools with all of those, the way it works and all that. And I take it a step further, but I don't. Because number one, if I take money for it, I now have to maintain it full and proper. You have a right to tell me off if it doesn't work on your website or, whatever. So it's not that I'm shirking responsibility, but it's code and it's open source. And I used AI to help me get to make it work the way I wanted it to work, or the way we've discussed with people. And if you now want to take it further, you can do. It's free, right? And yeah, if you want to hire me, you have to pay. If you want me to help you on a website, you got to pay. One-to-ones and stuff like that. Buy a course. Yeah, of course, you got to buy them. But I love knowing I can make a difference and help so many of you out. Owen says, still working on my quote yes, I think I've made a solution to use only one HTML block while still attaching it to the Elementor form. I'm really glad. I mean, and by the way, what I created was just how I decided to do it using Canva code, and then I took it into ChatGPT to make it work slightly differently to feed into Elementor form. Sorry for yawning there. But yeah, go with what you need to do. Now, Clark, here's the thing, right? What you can do though, Clark, and here's the clever bit, right? Is shall I show you, Clark? Let me show you, okay? Because you've obviously raised a question, right? Let me just go into Canva. I've got to log into Facebook first, so just let me log into Facebook, then I'll go to Canva because my accounts are connected. But let me just show you, Owen. I keep saying Clark, but your name is Owen, right? Let me just show you what you would do. Come on, load up. Let me just go to Canva, right? And I'm going to show you what you do, my friend, if you want. This is how you access the previous code. It's a bit of a pity that Canva don't make this clear, right? Because I always feel like, why don't they just make this clear, right? Oh, come on. It's not loading up now. Just give me a moment, everyone. Just give me a moment. Come on. All right, it's loading in now. Right, cool. Right, we're in. Right, so we're in Canva AI now, okay? You click on the code for me, right? When you click on that, you click on the menu and you'll see all your codes. Let's go for this one over here, right? So this is where I was working on an email signature. It's not working very well, so you probably won't see this code in fact, no, you won't see this code for a while. But what you do is let's say I've got to version 7 and it's not, hey John Sionides, how you doing? Let's say version 7 is not working very well, right? And I now want to ask a question about it. You can just say to it, refine it, or you can click version 7, right? And then what you do is you right click and you go to view frame source. And then you got all the code. So all you do is just copy the code, close that down, and then you say, right, here is the code. We need to do X, Y, Z, or we need to refine it. And then you can go and paste in your code, whatever. Just bear in mind, though, that if your code is super big, at the moment, Canva code does not allow you to paste over 4,000 characters. And you can't insert a document, but I'm pretty sure they'll do that. But yeah, I've got a feeling you weren't aware of that. But what you do is you go to Canva AI. Make sure you're in the Canva code bit when you go into it. Oh, no, hold on. Where have I gone? Yeah, there you go. Canva AI, code for me. And then you click the menu and you'll see all of your previous chats over there. But you can right click, page view, page source, whatever. Get the cold. You're right, dude.
Yeah, we're going nanny and nanas.
What now?
Yeah, to deliver their presents and nanny and nanas.
Okay, cool. You're gonna eat. Make sure you eat dinner there, right? You've not had a proper lunch.
I will.
No. You got to make sure you eat. Okay.
Yeah.
You got to make sure you didn't have a proper lunch today. Make sure you eat. Yeah. All right. Is your phone charged? Yeah, put it on charge, okay? And remember, Raheem, make sure you're on their Wi-Fi before you use it. Sorry, parenting duties. Yeah, no worries, mate. I covered it in the video, in the Canva code one, but don't worry, you might have missed it, okay? You might have missed it. He's 10 years old, just turned 10 in May. I even spoke to him today about this. I said, look, you're 10 years old now. But maybe in like 2 or 3 years time, you might want to start thinking about web design and web stuff and all of that. Because at some point in the future, you might want to join me on creating videos and stuff, because there'll come a point where maybe you might want to take over, like way in the future, or tag team with me. You know, I do videos, he does videos, stuff like that. Because you know, I would like to think that this channel is still going in 20, 30 years' time. It all depends on AI and, life and all of that. But I would love it if he continues it, because the channel is not Imran Siddiq. The channel is Web Squadron. So I hope I can pass over to him to continue, because it'd be, I don't want it to just die a death if it's still going strong, right? Sorry, I'm just going to double check some of the comments coming back. Aquita says, didn't check your image tool yet, but a question. I'm using rank math and adding SEO relevant information. Does it copy and convert to web? Yes, it does. Well, I say it should do, but yes, it does. It should convert to WebP, but the best way to check it, Aquitas, is you create a staging site, replica of your website, and you go and install, activate, run all version 3.6 and just see what it does, and you should be okay. M says, what do you think of Bricks Builder compared to Elementor? I think when I first looked at Bricks Builder in November 2021, was it November? Yeah, October, November 2021, I was really surprised by the class system and the performance score. There were some bits I found were more like you had to do more effort. It felt like Elementor was quicker on some aspects, but it had a built-in filter system. Not the best. You still need to use Grid Builder. It's not the best. The mobile menu at that time was non-existent, but the class system rocked, and the performance of the websites rocked. And I was very vocal about how Elementor needs to pick up their game. People may remember the live chat that me and Paul did back in, I think it was November 2021, October 2021. That caused that got people to really sit up. And then in 2022, Elementor started rolling. They started going hard. No, hold on. It was November 2022, sorry. 2022 when Elemental picked up their game, not 2021. So in 2022, they picked up their game. No, 2023. The beginning of 2023, they picked up their game. The flex containers became more final. The loop grids, the taxonomy filters, things started rolling out. You know, and they always said they were going to do the class system at some point, and now we can see that coming out with version 4. And in 2023, 2024, definitely in 2024 and into 2025, if you install a brand new website, if you start a brand new website with Elementor, you'll hit 100% before you add in any extra code snippets or a caching tool. You will hit 100%. Before, when you installed Elementor and all you did was add in one heading widget or a text editor, your score would go to 70 or 65. And that was the big thing. But now there's a big difference. Even the DOMs, the classes, have you seen the difference? If you go and inspect like what they've been doing with like version 3.29, the whole wrapping of the divs, you know, the classes, like it was always crazy when you looked at, say, your heading and you went to like inspect it and you had like class container, class this, class that, class something else, class heading, class. And there was like 4 or 5 classes wrapped just for your heading widget. Now it's so much lighter. I do still think some of the chain requests can be simplified, but even though that is, say, double what you might get with Bricks or Breakdance or Gutenberg or anything like that, when you have a fresh website and you stick in Elementor, you'll hit 100%. You might hit 99, but you'll hit 100% for the mobile, 99, 100. And as you build, your score will go, you know, it will wobble a bit. But I can tell you now, you build exactly the same page in Breakdance or Bricks or Gutenberg or wherever, because I did a comparison video in, I think it was March 2024. I did Elementor versus Bricks versus Breakdance versus Gutenberg or Classic Editor versus something else. I can't remember now, but I did 5, right? It might have been 4. It was definitely Breakdance, WordPress, Classic Editor, Breakdance, Bricks, Elementor. I definitely did those 4, right? And I showed that from the get-go, your scores are 100%. And I built the exact same page. Same heading, same hero banner, text editor, and a few icons and stuff. Very light, but it was the same page. In the old days, that Elementor page, without any code snippets, without any like page speed performance plugin installed, would have been hitting 60%, 55, 60, especially on the mobile. Your desktop might have been 90, but your mobile always dropped. Now, they stay up there, right? And I can tell you now, whether you use Breakdance, whether you use Bricks, whether you use Elementor, you will at some point use a code snippet to maybe stop the lazy loading, because maybe that causes a bit of a lag in loading. Maybe you want to ensure the web fonts are, not the web fonts, the WAFs. Yeah, the web fonts are definitely coming through. Maybe you want to do something to minify the CSS or whatever. There's always these little extra code snippets. Maybe you're going to use the fast press performance plugin. You'll use that whether you're on Elementor, Bricks, Breakdance, or anything else. And anyone who says differently, they're talking shit. Hey, Raheem. You had to come in just at that point, didn't he?
Yeah. I'm going now, yeah?
Yeah, all right, mate. Hey, hug. You take it
Right.
easy. Hey, make sure you eat.
I will.
All right?
I
Make
will.
sure you eat. Are you feeling all right?
Yeah, I'm feeling better.
Okay, cool. What are you taking next? Is that the charger?
Yeah, I've got my charger.
Don't they have a charger for that?
I have a Samsung one and that one's proper slow.
All right,
Think
stick
I
it.
can
Can you stick that in the front pocket of your bag so you don't lose it, okay? All right, take it easy. Right, I'm going to eat home, okay?
Huh?
Don't bring any food for me, all right? I'm making my own stuff, all right? So don't, whatever, all right? Yeah, no. Don't do that, all right? Take it easy, mate. Have fun. Whatever. Whatever. I'll see you later, mate. Bye. Yeah, he's off to his granddad's house. Or my wife's mum and dad. So that means I'll have the house to myself. which is always quite nice, isn't it? Except I got the cats. Got to feed the cats, do a bit of weights. I've got this new machine. I should show you all this one day, my new digital resistance machine. It's the Inodi Gym. Inodi Gym. The way it sounds weird, but it's Inodi Gym. But it's really amazingly funky, and it's making a real difference, especially like digital resistance chest, and I can do so much with it. Got rid of my overweights machine. But yeah, should I do a video one day? Should I do a fitness video? How does a web designer stay fit? Should I do the video on that one day? Is anyone going to care or give a shit about anything like that? In Ireland, we call that a free gaff when we have the house toss. Ah, yes. I've never heard that word, though. Free gaff. I've never actually heard that word. I'm just going to quickly check something. Because if my son has left one of the doors open, I need to go and shut it. Because I think they have... I'm just checking it on the camera at the moment. No, it's okay, cool. Yeah. I need to get fitter. Well, the thing is, right, Clark, right? I've shared this a few times, right? And it's going to look really dirty because obviously, you know, I'm on it quite a lot. So they're all like marks from my trainers, whatever. But you see this, right? I got this from Amazon, right? There's no moving parts to it other than the fact that these go up and down. Now, I can't do it with my hand. But when you're on it and you got your feet on it, basically you're stepping. So, you know, you're doing that. And then over here, I have this. So I've got another desk over here. By the way, this is because my cats sometimes like to play with this as I'm working below me, right? So I've got another desk over there, or another desk that connects over there. And I've got some other screens here. There's a screen up there as well. I have this over there, right? Put my keyboard and mouse on top of that. That's why I have this on top of it. So it's, you know, because otherwise when you put a mouse on top of that, like a dinner tray, basically a dinner tray, this, right? Over here. It's not so good, you know, because like the mouse ain't great on that surface. So you got a bit of a mat on it. Anyway, I'm telling you too much. But I'm on that. I wake up at like, I wake up now at like 10 to 5 in the morning. Come down, feed the cats, check they're okay. Boot my machine up, and by 5 a.m. until 7:30 a.m., I'm on here doing my morning work, replying to comments, looking at emails, planning my day if I'm going to change it. I might have a few YouTube videos on because I like to learn, and I'm watching other people or something about business productivity, and I'm going, oh, okay, I might be able to do a video on that, but I'll do it slightly differently or whatever. So, you know, it's okay to get inspiration from other people. And then by 7:30, normally from 5 to 7:30, normally I should have hit 1,500 calories burned off because I'm on it 2.5 hours. I'm just like that. Got my drink obviously near me as well. So I'll have my drink on there. Do that. And then 7:30 to about 7:45, I'll go and do some digital resistance weights and whatever. When I'll go and get ready, shower and all that, or, you know, get my son ready for school, whatever, and then I'm back on it. And sometimes I'm working on websites. When I'm editing videos, I'm on my stepper. When I'm designing websites, I might be on my stepper. So I can still do stuff while I'm stepping. And today so far, I'm going to try and show it to you because I've taken it off my wrist now, right? That's not zooming in very well, is it? No, it's not zooming in. It's because of my hand. Because of my hand. No, I can't get it to zoom in. But that is 2,895 calories burnt active. You always burn more because obviously you burn even when you just sat on your ass. And that's 309 minutes of activity I got in today. So I can be in my house without going to a gym. Without, you know, I could be naked if I want. Not that I am, but, you know, you can do what you want. I can be working and stepping. And then I want to do some weights, so I'll do it in the morning, but I do it after I've had my lunch. And then I'll do it again now after the live chat. So I can just jump in and do stuff. And you know, you do that, you can rock it. You can get so much done. And I feel like my life and the way I do things, because some people always say to me, work-life balance. After the live chat, I'll do that. And normally I'd be with my family until 9 p.m. And then I might come and do some more work or go bed or whatever, right? I don't have to work late into the night unless I want to. So I can still get 5-6 hours family time. And I've still got my active lifestyle and my weights and all that. And I haven't left home. And I got my cats as well. And, you know, they can always be good fun. And they can also be painful as well, because sometimes you got to go and sort out their litter tray and stuff like that. Oh, I've just noticed a question on here. I haven't answered. Sorry, Owen, you said, I'm not sure how your wife looks, but she did not get a look in with Raheem's looks. Raheem is adopted, and he knows this. We adopted him when he was just about to turn 1 year old. He's been in foster care since he was very, very young, right? We adopted him. He's now 10, so he's lived with us for just over 9 years. And a lot of people do look at him and say, are you sure you did not have a son and you pretended he was adopted just to bring him into your family and your wife's unhappy with you? And I'm like, what are you coming out with? People do say that. People look at him and they go, he looks very like you. And I'm like, I think that's just luck. Seriously, that's just luck. And to be honest, Owen, you know my structure? I'm going to tell you so much shit now, right? We're not talking about WordPress now, right? This is an extra small t-shirt. XS, right? Extra small t-shirt. About 13 years ago, so 2012, I was wearing large, right? I was like 42, 43, 44, 42, 43 inch chest. I'm now 35 inch. This is extra small. And do you know how I dropped weight from, let me get this right, I was close to 12 stone, 11.5 to 12 stone. I'm now just over 8 stone. Do you know how I lost my weight? And back then, I did not have time to go gym. I did not have this stepper or an exercise bike or anything like that. And I wasn't going to the gym or a weights machine. Do you know how I dropped nearly 4 stone in about 8 months? It was about 6 to 8 months. I was dropping weight like big time. Do you know how I did it? I stopped drinking normal Coca-Cola because it's got lots of sugar. I stopped having a chocolate bar in the morning and lunchtime and one after work. I stopped eating lots of rice and pastas and stuff because I like that stuff, and eating lots of biscuits and cakes. All I did was minimize, not completely cut out, but minimize my carbohydrates. I moved on to Pepsi Max. I know it's got aspartame and other shit in there, right? But it is 0 sugar, right? And I know it's got sweetener, but you compare 10 of them to a can of Coke, right? And when you make those transitional changes in your life, and by the way, I'm not being sizist here, all right? I'm not saying fat or cellulite. I'm not going into any of those conversations, right? You do you, I do me. But if you have ever had like an episode in your life with your health or whatever, now's the time to make a change, right? Because in 2012, 13 years ago, I noticed a change in my body. And I was a little bit like, oh, something doesn't feel right. Got a blood test done, and I was literally on the verge of diabetes type 2. You look at the stats, you look at the levels, all of that, right? You know, everything in my system, I was practically type 2. And the doctor says, you got to make a quick change. You got to come back in next month. That night, I stopped drinking full fat Coke because I was drinking 5-6 cans a day. Stopped it. Stopped the chocolate. And I went back to the doctor in 4 weeks' time to get another monitor test done and to check my condition. And I was like, I'm not having those problems. My face, you know, I've noticed my weight dropping off. Blood test. I was within the normal levels. Now I'm even better than that because I continue this. I had a heart attack 5 years ago. not 5 years ago, 4.5 years ago. Well, just over 4.5. October 2020, during COVID, I had a heart attack, rushed into hospital, had a stent put in, anterior semi, got that put in. I was in a ward full of COVID people. It was not great or nice. I was like more worried about catching COVID than my heart. And that's because the damage I did to my body, even though I made a change 13 years ago, the damage I did with what I ate, what I drank, you know, oh, I'll have another samosa. Oh, I'll have a plate of pasta. And oh, yeah, you know what? I'll have another full plate of pasta. Oh, yeah, you're just ramming yourself and you don't care. It catches up with you. And I'm forever saying to my son, will you please stop eating all of these biscuits? You're not doing yourself any favors. So if you need to make a change on your life, I'm not talking about your size, right? Okay. I'm talking about inside. And what gets me a little bit pissed off, right, is people sometimes that have bad habits sometimes say, well, we're going to die someday. You know, if I want to smoke 50 cigarettes today, I'm going to die someday. You know, if I want to live a risky life, well, I'm going to die one day. You know, if I want to eat shitty food and I don't care, well, I'm going to die one day. Well, here's the thing. A lot of the people I speak to where we've had this conversation, they have kids. They have a partner. They are married. And when someone says to me, well, I'm going to die one day, quite frankly, fuck you for having someone who probably loves you or cares for you, or you've got kids that look up to you that may need you. You can do something now. Yes, we're all going to die one day. And I could still drop dead next week, next year. My heart may still fail on me. Something else could go wrong. Maybe the shit in here will harm me one day. I don't know. Anything can happen. Could get run over. Whatever, right? But I want to know that I did something to minimize that. Because I don't want my son to grow up without me being there to help support him. I think he's going to need me for a very long time. He's got ADHD. He's got issues. He's got things that affect him. He gets triggered. What you see here, where he comes in and he's quite nice about, how he talks and everything, that's the side that I wish Raheem was like all the time. 90% of the time, he's not like that. And we are going through a lot of things at the moment with his school, with his doctor, with other support services to help him. He is going through a lot of emotional trauma at the moment, mental trauma at the moment. Nothing to do with the adoption. It's just him. He's got ADHD really extreme. I want to be there. So next time you hear or someone says to you, well, we're all going to die one day. Who cares? I'm going to eat what the fuck I want to eat. We're all going to die one day. You do not deserve to have kids. You do not deserve to have a partner or get married. You do not deserve to live your life carelessly, recklessly, right? Because you're just thinking about you and not the other people that will be impacted by what could happen, right? Anyway, I've gone too extreme on that kind of thing. But you get the idea, right? Owen says you have the right mindset. ADHD is tough. I have it myself. Yeah, I mean, it's like, look, the school are doing the best they can. The trouble is, though, a lot of the other kids don't get it. And sometimes it's easy to trigger him. He's not on the right medication. We're trying to get that reviewed. I'm getting battered from pillar to post at the moment. And it is very stressful. It is really, really stressful. And it affects me, him, our relationship with other people as well. But he knows we're there for him at the end of the day. And we're going to do the best we can, which is why a lot of what I do with Web Squadron, a lot of the income I build and I save, and the things I'm putting in place are for him. I want him to earn his life. I want him to pick himself up and go, I'm going to become someone. And if I can't become someone, I will become something. I will get out there. I will get work. I don't care if you spend the rest of your life working at McDonald's. As long as you're not sat on your ass waiting for the world to give you stuff. We're not going to take benefits. We're not going to take anything. Nothing wrong with it if you want to do that, but we're going to make something ourselves. But I know even then, he's going to need that helping hand. So I will build up his savings in his bank account. I will ensure he does not have to worry about a mortgage. I'm going to ensure that he gets as much as he can. So if something happens to me, something happens to his mom, he is not alone. Because we don't mix very much with my family. And I'll tell you why. My name may be Imran Siddiq, but I don't follow any religion. I don't follow any culture. I don't follow any tradition. I don't follow anything where someone says, you got to do this and you got to eat that and you got to pray this and you got to go there. No, I am me and we are us. I will not hurt anyone. I have morals, ethics, principles. If I ever hurt anyone, and this goes out to all of you, and it was not intentional, because I'm pretty sure it wasn't, I'm sorry for that, because I never want to do anything illegal or nasty or anything like that to anyone. And that's how I want to bring him up, so that he knows, and this goes out to everyone, all of you, people in the world will attack you. People don't like it when you make money. People don't like it when you've got something they've not got. Jealousy, malice, hatred, it happens everywhere. Someone might say that you're a friend, but behind the doors, they're going to say shit about you. It happens. But I've always said to him, yes, what people say can hurt you and affect you. But I know that when I come home, they can't take away what I've got, what I've earned, what I've built up. They can't touch that. And as long as you've got that, you're okay. Right? Someone can say something to you. Someone can be racist, sexist, misogynistic, whatever. Someone can do whatever they want to you. Your friends might say they don't like you. Your family might not like you. But if you can stay true to you and the beliefs you have, if you want to be religious, be religious. That's fine. Just don't put it out there on anyone else. Be you. Be humble. Be humble in your life. Because when you're humble, you'll be humble with your design clients. You'll be humble in everything you do. You'll be honest. You'll be transparent. You'll want to help people. You'll want to go make a difference. But at the same time, you'll protect yourself as well. Because when someone does not humble you, you'll be like, oh, hold on, mate. Hold on. What are we doing here? You'll be better. You'll be brilliant in how you work throughout your life. That is me. This is how I am. And I know people have trampled all over me. I know people have walked over me. I know people I used to work with in the NHS. They shat all over me. Literally flying, flinging it at my face. And I kept taking it because I was always thinking about the greater good. But you know what? I come out better. I come out as a better person. Because when someone is nasty to you, other people see it. And if you are not nasty back, people remember it. And people might say to you, you should have told them what for. That's what they'll say at the time. But 5 years later, they'll remember you. They'll remember, oh, Imran, he was a good guy. What will they think about the people 5 years ago that shit on you? I don't think they're going to want to know them. Because you stayed humble. And that's what you all need to do. That's what you all need to do. Sorry, I've gone off on a tangent. Major tangent at the moment. Right? Major tangent. By the way, Donal, I'm really glad you're here. Donal, are you still here? Tomorrow, version 2 comes out, my friend. Version 2 is coming out. And look at this. You got the classes and you get the tag. The HTML tag is coming back into fashion. You got the class, you got the tag, and we've got a scalable version as well, which you are going to love, the scalable version. So there's 3 ways to use the tool. So this is all coming out tomorrow, version 2. Because I know you wanted it, Donal. And it's coming, my friend, all right? Yep, what you're saying there, I agree. By the way, I'm reading all the comments and I totally agree with everyone like that. You picked some of the stuff I wrote. Yeah, I mean, I'm not just a web designer, right? When I know one of my friends is in trouble, whether it's financial or they're going through a hard time, and one of my friends is going through an excruciatingly really, I can't even give you any hints as to what's going on. I'll be there for them. if I know like I can help someone out, I will do. I don't do everything for free. Like, I'm not going to build your website for you or solve your intricate JS, JavaScript, CSS problem. But if I can help with like the Web Squadron Facebook group, the Elementor group, or just do something that makes a difference, I hope it satisfies you. Because I'm thinking about the long game here, right? I am selfishly thinking about the long game. I want Web Squadron to still be here in 10 years' time. I hope Raheem comes along on the ride because I know he takes an interest. He loves it. He always takes a bit of interest, but he doesn't fully get it. He can join in with this, and he can take it places as well. So that's the aim of Web Squadron. Yes, I do videos and stuff, and I'm different in how I do it, but there's a lot of stuff there. So Donald's got a sample of what he uses. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, right, Donald, right? Here's the thing, right? Let me just show you, right? And I hope this is going to make crystal clear to you, right? So I'm just going to zoom in on my screen a little bit over there. In fact, I'll go full screen because it's easier to see like that. So let's go over to the tag version, right, Donald? So you've said you use like WPCL, XL, whatever, right? Okay, let me show you something you could do, right? I'm going to click onto this H3 and I'm going to type in WPCML. I don't know what you got because I can't see the comment now. WPCXL, sorry, WPCXL, right? I'm going to do that, right? Can you see what I've done there? And let's say you go and set your size. I've got to zoom out now because I can't see my button. And I hit save, right? Look at that there. And I click it. There's my code. Look at that. With the line height. You can touch the line height. Let's make the line height be 1.25 EM. Right? Look at that. And you can do it in pixel or REM, whatever you want. But look at that. It is now there. It is there for you. Right? So you could do that. And you can add a size, right? Look, let's go and add in another one. So you said you had I don't know, I'm just going to pretend now. I'm going to do H3, whatever, right? Let's just go do that. Let's add in a dot like that. Let's hit save. There it is. You change your sizes, whatever. And look, here's the really cool thing. You go down here and look, when you go to the bottom, it's there. Look, can you see it? It's added it. So you can click copy all and copy all of it in one go. You can add as many as you want and you can just hit reset if you want to wipe them all out. You can export it. You can import it. This is super duper dopey popey versatile in what you can do with it. I'm telling you. This is versatile. Right, I've been live for, how long have I been live? I've been live for 1 hour 7. I do have a video to edit for Font Clamp version 2. I recorded the video just before I went live and then I had an issue with the internet. Sorry for anyone that saw that. I had to cut it off within a minute of us going live. Sorry about that. I need to edit that video. It's a 20-minute video. I'm pretty sure it'll come down to 12, 15 minutes. That is coming out tomorrow. You're all great. You're all good people, all right? We're all good people at the end of the day. But I took on board, what a few people wanted. People mentioned about the HTML tag and all of that. This will satisfy you. Okay, Donnell? I got you. For free. You can use this. Okay, I got you. Have you ever covered your setup for making videos, the wall styling behind you? I'm planning a new one, Owen. I was literally today going, I need to do a new one, right? Like, I need to go... No, Donnell, you don't feel guilty. It was on my mind to do it, but I wasn't sure. Well, do people want to go back to the other way I did it, or are they okay with this? You asked, about 6 other people asked, so you're not the only one. But it allowed me to take the tool further and add on a scalable version. Oh my God, wait till you see the scaled version. Watch the video in full tomorrow, everyone. Because, oh boy, it is bloody good what the third tab does as well. Like, it makes it even easier for you. It's so crazy cool in what it does. But you got to look at that. But what I would say is back to Owen. I was doing something a little bit funky. So I put out an image just to say, if I blur the background, which one did people like? And it wasn't overly blurred, but I shared something. And I want to do a video, Owen, where I go from start to finish in terms of lighting, camera. The iPhone is my webcam. You can see my teleprompter's here, even though it's currently off. How I use my iPhone. Well, it's not my iPhone. It's my wife's old iPhone. My iPhone is over there. But that's my wife's old one, iPhone 12 mini, connected to my Mac mini webcam. I used a re-incubate camo to stream it to my computer, so I don't get all of the camera controls that you do, which is really annoying. OBS to record with some LUT filters attached to it. Stick it into CapCut, edit. I can do some other stuff with it, like the blur effects and all of that. And then you upload it over to YouTube. So, yeah, I know, like, the whole Mando, but I always feel like a little bit of blur makes it feel a bit more cinematic. And I do like the cinematic, I do like the cinematic look. So, but I didn't want to have to go and spend £600-700 on like a mirrorless DSLR camera just to use as a webcam. I always felt like, I just don't like that. And I always find that DSLR cameras are very complicated. And then you got to get like a capture card connected to your camera to feed it through to your Mac. And then that's another expense of about 100 or so, 150, whatever pounds. Then you got to make sure it works in the settings. And it just starts to feel like, oh, God. But, I get 4K quality. Sometimes I feel like it's not full on 4K, but it does the job. And I think a lot of people always say, oh, what webcam are you using? And I go, it's just an iPhone connected up. But yeah, if people want to see it, let me know. Yeah, exactly, Owen. That's the thing, right? If I was going to go and do lots of like vlogging and YouTubing out and about, and I was going to do lots of photos, then yeah, the DSLR would be a must. But just for this, and then you got to make sure you get the right aperture frame and blah, 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 and micro, macro, ISO, and all of that. But with the iPhone, I get good quality camera. The re-incubate camo allows me to adjust the ISO and the exposure and all of that. Job done. Pretty damn simple. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah. Aquitas, what's your opinion on calculated breakpoints for containers? You could use it. You could use this tool. You could, let me just show you, right? You could create a class over here, like add another size. Let's just save it for your padding. You could go from 0 to 20 pixel. No, sorry. 20 pixel on the mobile to 0 on the desktop. Because as you shrink, now you want padding. But on a desktop, it doesn't look so bad because it's all boxed width. But on the mobile, you do now want to have it. So there's all this sort of stuff you could do. But yeah, you could do it. You could even use these formulas for images. So on the desktop, your image is 500. On the mobile, it's got to be 350 maybe. Or 200 because you got text next door to the image. So you want to go for a certain layout. So there's stuff you can do with it. Right? There's stuff you can do with it. Doesn't the DLC... Well, Jam Source. So if you go for the Sony FX30, that does not cut off after a certain amount of time. But yeah, I have heard, again, that is another issue. Whereas with the iPhone, I mean, I've had this on once for like, oh God, 4 hours. It's connected via a cable to my Mac Mini M2 Pro. So while it's running and on, it's charging. Do you get what I mean? And it just works. All right, everyone, I got to go edit my video. Please don't forget, Font Clamp Calculator version 2 is coming out tomorrow. You seriously got to watch this. Version 2. And I'm not just saying that because I want you to watch it. Sorry, I think I hit my chin on the microphone then. You seriously got to watch it because of what it will do with the class, the tag, and the scale version. It's brilliant. Why don't I live edit it now? No, because I was swearing a lot through it when I was accidentally clicked on the wrong thing. Or I did it and then I said the wrong word. So I'm not going to show you that. Seriously, I'm not going to show you that. So yeah, look, anyone who came here and I shared quite a bit about my life or my son or things going on or the way I like to live my life, sorry about that. But hey, when you come to this live chat, there's no shit. There's no niceties. This is real, honest, like cutthroat. You know, if we're going to say something, we say it. If we want to put across a view or an opinion about a plugin or the way things work, we're going to do it. Hey, Leif, I'm jumping off now, Leif. Leif Ibrahim, I'm about to jump off, mate. But smash the like button anyway, all right? Smash the like button anyway. Look, I'll be... will I be live tomorrow? I don't know. But Font Clamp Calculator version 2 is coming out tomorrow. Please do make sure you go and watch it. Please make sure you like today's video. Like all of the videos I ever put out. Seriously, here's something you can all do to help me out to reach more people. And I recommend you do this for everyone whose videos you like. Whether it's Paul, Reno, Ferdy, anyone. I don't care. Anyone whose videos you like. Go and if you don't get notification, Leif, that's YouTube. I can't really do much about that. But here's something you can do to help all of your favorite YouTubers out. You hit like and you leave a comment. Because people think that by hitting like is enough. It's not just that. You got to hit like and you got to leave a comment. The third thing you can do, which is really, really powerful, is if you then below the video click share and then you share the link. You do that, that's even better, or just click the share because YouTube notices those three things, but you don't have to. You can if you want, but you don't have to. Absolutely Chris Lava. But anyway, look, tomorrow you're going to see all of this. Version 2, Font Clamp Calculator. Take care, everybody. I got to go away. My son and my wife are out. I got to make the most of this evening. Take care. See you soon. Bye.